Hey everyone, welcome back to another CGH video. I'm your host, The Digital Daniel. Welcome back to a Red Dead Online guide. Today's guide will be about the new showdown mode, Plunder. This guide consists of a general overview of the mode, the playstyles in it, and finally, it will list some tips and tricks to help you get some wins. Everything in this guide can be used while playing with randoms or friends. Plunder is Red Dead Redemption's take on Capture the Flag. It is very similar to GTA Online's adversary mode, Capture. The new showdown mode puts you and 3 other teams on a map with several bags placed in the center of the map, and the objective is to bring those bags to your base, and the winner is the team that has the most bags in their base at the end of a 7-minute round. The 5 maps that Plunder can be played on are Chola Springs, Saint-Denis Plantation, Strawberry, and Tall Trees. You and your competitors all start in your designated bases. Once the match starts, you run to the middle of the map where there are roughly 10 bags in the middle. This is where, if you don't go with a plan, things can turn ugly. Once you manage to collect a bag, you must return to your base and the bag will be counted as a point for your team. In addition to capturing the bags, you can also steal bags. You can do this by going to other teams' bases and stealing their bags, so your base may be stolen from several times during the course of the game. So you have to decide how you want to handle this aspect of the mode, and choose whether you want to be the aggressor and steal from people's base, or defend your base, or try to strike the best of both worlds, which is significantly harder, trust me. If I can't do it, and even Hannah Montana had to stop eventually, I strongly advise against this. You can also steal bags by picking up bags that have been dropped by a killed player, or by collecting bags they drop after you kill them yourself. However, bear in mind, no matter how you get a bag, when holding it, you'll be visible to all other players on the map, becoming a target for all. The average payout for winning is $15 to $16. The payout for being second is $12 to $10. The average payout for anything lower than this is $6 to $3. The highest amount of XP you can receive is about 300, and this is including if you win the MVP. To achieve the objective of having the most bags, there are 2 simplified sub-objectives: getting the bag and maintaining the bag. There are 3 different ways you can achieve each sub-objective, and each of these ways can be approached with an offensive playstyle or a defensive one. The 3 main ways you can get a bag are by storming the circle, kicking back, and cherry picking. Storming the circle is the simplest but least effective technique out of the 3. It involves you running straight into the circle and collecting a bag. However, if you can manage to get yourself some cover fire or run in unnoticed before anyone else, it will increase your chances of getting a bag to your base without getting killed. And make sure to keep an eye on your surroundings and the minimap. I advise avoiding other players, but if you can't, attack straight away, as they will most likely kill you if they see you. The kicking back technique is where you wait for other players to storm the circle, and once the initial chaos has died down, you go in and get a bag. The problem with this technique is that you may end up with only 1 bag, whereas everyone else has managed to get 2 or 3. However, the upside is that you're most likely to get a bag every time you go to the circle, and not have to run in 2 to 3 times hoping you can manage to hold on to one. With this technique, I advise going in as soon as you are notified that 2 or 3 people have seized the bag instead of waiting back too long. This will reduce the amount of time you have to spend to catch up. Finally, the cherry picking technique, where you basically swoop in to get yourself a bag from other players. For example, you could find 2 players in a gunfight, let them finish and then kill the winner, or stay at an enemy's base and when they bring back a bag, kill them and take it to your base. It's basically letting everyone else do the work and then taking the rewards. This is the hardest mode, and you have to be very skilled, stealthy for this to work. And even if you are successful, the maximum amount of bags you can get from doing this method would be 10, so keep that in mind. The 3 main ways you can maintain the bag you have are camping, sniping, and base raiding. Camping, you all know how annoying camping is, but in this mode it's a little more acceptable. All you need to do is find cover and stay and protect your base from any incoming enemies. All maps have a choice of several vantage points for you to pick from to protect your base. Even if you get killed, you spawn a few taps away from your base, so you can usually run directly to the base before anyone can get away with a bag. This technique is the easiest way to maintain your bags, but it restricts you from being able to increase your bag count, as you have to constantly stay in one spot. The second technique to maintain bags is sniping. This technique doesn't usually require a sniper. The weapon you have with the longest range will do. This involves you staying at the highest vantage point on the map and picking off players that come near your base or have stolen from it. The downside with this technique is that once you kill a player that may have managed to collect a bag, you have to go collect the bag yourself and hope no one else gets it before you do. The final technique you can use to maintain bags is base raiding, where you simply go to a base and take their bags tied to your collection. With this technique, you can take some of the things you did when collecting bags and use them here. For example, you can go in all guns blazing like the storming technique, or you can kick back and be a bit more stealthy. This technique is a bit more rewarding. If done correctly, you can increase the amount of bags you have. However, with you not at your base, you are most likely to have bags stolen from your base too. Those are the techniques that you can use in Plunder. Now onto tips and tricks. The first tip would be to make sure you have the most effective weapon and card loadout. For your weapon loadout, you need a long scope rifle or a long range rifle for long range combat, which you'll encounter a lot of in this mode. So this will be your primary weapon, so make sure you use your best rifle possible. For close range combat and extra damage, you need a shotgun, as it is most powerful but slowest, but you can usually finish off a player in close combat with one shot. If you can make sure to have a few sticks of dynamite or any type of explosive on you. In some techniques like the kickback, you can throw it into the center or an enemy base and kill all the other players fast, but it's very rare that this works, so that's why you don't need too much, and don't rely on it. It's a 1 in a million special play. Whatever revolver you use doesn't matter, as you rarely use them in this mode, so I suggest a cattleman, or for extra power a sawn-off shotgun if you have multiple shotguns. This loadout will ensure you're equipped for all situations and really should be used in all showdown modes you play. As for your card loadout, you should include a Deadeye card, a defensive card, and a recovery card, and one combat card. If you don't have enough slots, prioritize recovery card, then the defensive card, and then the combat card. The cards you should ideally use for each slot are: for the Deadeye slot, you should use the focus fire card. For the recovery slot, you should use the peak condition card, and for the defensive slot, you should use the fight another card. For the combat card, you can use any card, preferably one that increases your health while you're passive. Second tip is core management. You should always manage your cores and keep an eye on your cores in Red Dead to be as effective as possible, but even more in Plunder mode. The best way to do this is by eating food, especially corn and canned beef, and tonics like miracle tonics and specific tonics for each cause. Take a miracle tonic at the start of the game and always eat whenever you're at your base to ensure your cores are always full. If they get low, make sure to get cover and take a tonic, preferably a miracle tonic. But if you have a bag, just get to your base as soon as possible, regardless of how low your cores are. The final tip is to always try to stay close to other players on your team whenever you can, as it makes things easier, since you'll be able to protect each other from other players, as they will usually be outnumbered. And even if one of you die, there's a higher chance that the other player can kill your opponent and pick up the bag one of you may have dropped. That's it for the tips. Finally, I'll give you specialized tips on each individual map. Saint-Denis map. In Saint-Denis, you should use the kickback technique, but if there is opening, you can storm and always seize the opportunity, as there will rarely be opportunity like that. Otherwise, you should just get rid of other opponents before you or your teammates can attempt going to the circle. The Saint-Denis plantation. Storm as fast as you can, as if you get there before most people, you have a higher chance of getting and keeping the bags, since the bases on this map are so far away from each other. Strawberry. It's better to base ride here, as the center of the map is difficult to get to, but bases are easier to get to. So pick a base and either camp or attack and get yourself some bags, and then once you have retrieved them to your base, guard them, as most people will also base raid on this map. Chola Springs. Storming in Chola Springs is the most effective, as the bases are quite far from each other and hard to get to, so whoever has the most bags in the first minute is usually the victor. Just make sure to protect those bags once you have a decent amount. Tall trees. Finally, in tall trees, I'd suggest base raiding, as players usually never guard their base on this map because everything on your map appears to be closer due to the similar surroundings, when in fact it isn't. However, I still encourage base raiding due to the fact that other people will be trying to attack players instead of bases. But that's it for today's guide. Hope this helped you get some wins, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe to Central Gaming Hub and join the official CGH Discord in the link below. And for everything Red Dead Online and gaming, keep it locked right here on CGH.